Hey guys, this one's going to be a little bit crazy. I am going to try and briefly explain every single item in the Bazaar. There are, I am on Bazaar DB right now, and I'm just in the items page looking at everything in their base tier. And I'm going to go through all of them, give a very, very brief explanation. Try not to get caught up because there are a lot to move through. And we're just going to get through all of them. Look, this video isn't necessarily going to be extremely valuable for those who want an in-depth view. I just thought it'd be something a little bit fun and lighthearted, and maybe slightly funny to try and watch me explain each item. So without further ado, I have got my beer next to me to soothe my throat, and we will try and get through each and every item. Agility boots, you buy from Curio, you sell it, and your items get crit chance. Aladel, it's a multicast poison item on Mac. If you have a potion or reagent adjacent, it gives it that multicast for each adjacent item. Ambergris, it's a small aquatic item where you buy an aquatic item, it gains value, does heal, like relative to its value. Arc Blaster, it's a tech item that gains charge and deals a certain amount of damage with the 6-second cooldown, works well in a dually tech build. Atlas Stone does damage, and then it doubles its damage for the fight. Obviously stacks a lot. At Ladle, its cooldown is reduced for each damage it has. It gets all the way down to a second in most cases when you have enough damage on it. ATM, when you buy this item, you gain income, and then it shields equal to a certain amount of income that you have. Bag of Jewels, it's literally just a small item that's worth a certain amount of money at each level. It's literally just a loot item that's worth money. Bandages gives you heal and shield. It's a pig item. Bar of Gold literally just sells for money as well. Move down to Barbed Claws. Has +1 multicast for each player with poison. So it goes up to 3 for if your enemy and yourself has poison. It's on Mac, part of the Dangerous Experiments expansion. Barrel. When you use an adjacent non-weapon item, it gains shield for the fight. Battery can charge an item to the left, 4 seconds. It has ammo on it as well. Great in a tech build. Bayonet, a passive weapon item, so when you use a weapon to the left of it, it does the damage that the bayonet has. Beach Ball, a haste, aquatic, and toy items. Blank Slate, a new quest item, part of the Lost Treasures expansion. So when you do poison, regen, burn, slow, freeze a certain amount of times, it unlocks that ability in the Blank Slate, and when you use an adjacent relic, it charges it a second. Blast Doors does shield, 20-second cooldown, and when your enemy uses a weapon or does burn, it charges it. Blowtorch, it's the worst burn item in the game, takes 7 seconds and it burns for an abysmal amount. Blue Gumball, when you sell this, you gain crit chance. Blue Pickles, when it gets used, your adjacent items gain crit chance. That's Blue Pickles A, it's for adjacent ones. Blue Pickles L is the item to the left, Blue Pickles R is the item to the right, Blue Pickles X is all your items. Blue Nanas is a heal item, but when you sell it, you permanently gain a certain amount of max health. Bolus is a slow ammo item on Vanessa that deals damage and slows one item with 2 ammo. Bomb Squad is a friend that when you use an adjacent friend, it hastes Bomb Squad and it does burn, and with upgrades it reduces its cooldown greatly. Boomerang is a medium weapon that where you have it on your board against a monster fight and you win, you get a random loot item. Bottle Lightning is a potion on Mac that does 100% crit, and it does damage and burn. Box Cutter, it does 10 damage, and it decreases its damage by 1 when it's used. However, when you level up, it gains damage. Brass Knuckles is a small item that just has double damage. Brick Buddy, when you use an adjacent friend, it gains shield. Briefcase, and it's a weapon that you buy, and when you sell it, you get 2 spare change. Bushel, it's a heal item that gets charged to a shield procs, and you gain regen equal to 10% of its heal. Butter is a small item, part of Jewels, and for each adjacent tool or food item, this has +1 multicast, and it hastes items. Calcinator, when you transform a reagent, it permanently gains burn, and if you have 3 gold, it gives you a chunk of lead at the start of the day. Calico, it is a friend on Vanessa, and when you use a weapon, it gains crit chance, and it also deals double crit damage. Candles is a medium burn item that when you use a small item, it charges at 2 seconds. Candy Mail is a food item, and it basically lets your shield items gain more shield. It permanently loses a max ammo, and then it destroys it when it reaches 0. It's just a shield scaler. Cannon is a medium ammo item on Vanessa that does damage, does burn, and has 2 ammo. Cannonball gives adjacent ammo items more ammo. Cargo Shorts has the types that you have in your stash, and it does heal and shield a certain amount relative to the amount of item types that you have in your stash. Cash Register gives you 2 spare change at the start of the day. Catalyst transforms your leftmost small item. Catfish, so when this gains haste, it scales the amount of poison that it has, increases it. Chem Snail, it poisons, it's a medium item, and it also slows 1 more proc for each level. Chimeric Egg, it gains value at the start of each day, and when you sell it, you get an enchanted friend. And when it reaches a certain amount of value, it upgrades it. Chocolate, when you sell it, you gain max HP. Chris Army Knife, it's a tiny tech item that's also a tool, it's also a friend, and it does damage and shield, has a relatively low cooldown as well. Chum gives you aquatic crits, and when you buy it, you also get a piranha as well. Chunk of Gold, it's just gold. Chunk of Lead, when you transform this, you get a chunk of gold, and it's a reagent as well. You get this from your Calcinator and your other one. Cinders, it's a loot item that gives your burn items more burn. Citrus, it gives you more regen. Clamor gets used at the start of the fight, and it slows. Decreases its cooldown on upgrades. Claws, it's a small item that does double crit damage. Small weapon. Cleaver, so at the start of the fight, it permanently gains a certain amount of damage. It's a small weapon. Clockwork Blades, medium weapon, mostly just used for cooldown reduction. When you sell it, your item's cooldown gets reduced. Coconut, when you sell it, you gain max HP. Copper Ed, a poison and shield item that has a relatively low cooldown. Coral heals 20, but when you buy an aquatic item, it permanently gains heal. Coral Armor, similar to Coral, it gains shield when you buy an aquatic item. Cove, when you sell an item, this gains value, and it shields relative to its value. Crow's Nest, your weapons have crit chance, and if you have 1 weapon, it has lifesteal. Large Property. Crew Tools, so we can charge a tech item 1 second, and if we have 1 tech item, its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. Has a relatively low cooldown as well. Crusher Claw, deal damage equal to the highest shield of items you have, and your shield items also gain this amount of shield for the fight when it gets used. Crypto, it just sets its value to a random amount each hour in between the value explained in the description, 5, 10, 20, 40. Cutlass, it's a medium multicast weapon that does 2 multicasts every 6 seconds, and it does double crit damage. Dinosaur, it's a weapon, friend, relic, dinosaur, tool, vehicle. 6 seconds long, however, if you have 4 other dinosaurs, tools, or relics, it reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds. It's a very quick item. Dishwasher hastes your tools and increases your weapon damage every 9 seconds. Dog, when you sell a small item, your dog gains damage. Double Barrel, it's a multicast ammo item with 2 ammo, and it does, it's just a weapon, does damage. Eagle Talisman is a loot item that when you sell it, your leftmost item gains a certain amount of crit chance. Emerald is a poison item that increases the poison on your board, so your other poison items gain poison relative to Emerald's level. Epicurean Chocolate is another food scaling item, so adjacent weapons, they permanently gain damage, and it permanently loses 1 max ammo, and it destroys itself if it reaches 0. Eternal Torch is a relic, part of the new Mac expansion. It's a quest item. So when you buy 6 items, it gains the ability of when you burn, this gains burn. And when you have plus 75 burn, it gains multicast as well. Exoskeleton, adjacent weapons have plus 5 damage. And it's basically just when you sell, your weapons gain damage. Extract, it's a loot item that gives your leftmost poison item more poison. Fang, it's a nice, quick, small weapon. Takes 3 seconds to go off. Fire Potion, it's a 1 ammo potion that just takes 5 seconds to do burn. Firefly, so when you slow, it's a friend as well. It gains burn for the fight. First Aiden, it's a 4-second item, and it heals, and it also hastes an item. Fishing Net, it slows 1, 2, 3, 4 items for 3 seconds, and it gives you a piranha at the start of each day. Fishing Rod, basically you're just using it for the start of each day, getting a small aquatic item. However, it does haste the aquatic item to the right as well. Fixer Upper scales relative to its value, and then every 50 gold you spend, it upgrades it. Flail is just a 3 times multicast 7-second cooldown weapon, medium sized. Flintstones, it's a small tool relic that does burn for each relic or tool you have. However, its cooldown gets increased for each tech item you have. Forklift is a vehicle tool weapon that does a certain amount of damage, and when you use an adjacent item, it charges it. And if you have another tool, apparel, tech, weapon, or friend, it gives it more damage. Frost Totem is part of the new Mac expansion Lost Treasures quest item. It freezes an item for half a second. You can give it multicast if you buy 4 freeze items, and you can give it charge when you buy 5 relics. So when you use an adjacent relic, it charges it 1 second. Frozen Bludgeon, when we deal damage with when we freeze, our weapons gain damage. This thing sucks. You can find it at Curia, you can find it in the Frost Street Challenger as well. Fungal Spores, part of the new expansion. It's dangerous experiments though, so it gives your poison items more poison. Drink break. Ganjo, so it gives your adjacent weapons, heal items, and shield items more of its relative type. Gianola Bar, it's an ammo item that shields, but when you buy a tool, it gains ammo. Gland, so when you sell this, it just gives you regen. It's a loot item as well. Goggles, tool, and apparel, dropped by a bunch of monsters, by the way. 8 seconds, shields, and when it gains haste, your items gain crit chance. Golf club, so it deals damage, however, when you heal or gain regen, it scales its damage for the fight. GPU just hastes the core for 1, 2, 3, and 4 seconds. Grappling hook, it's a slow, small weapon that does damage, and it also slows 1, 2, 3, 4 items as well. Green Gumball, it's a gumball that scales your max HP. Grenade, it's a single ammo small weapon that does a pretty great amount of damage, and it has built-in crit chance as well. Green Wasp, it's part of the Dualtron expansion. It poisons, and when an adjacent item slows or freezes, it charges it a second. Halliday, it's a relatively quick small weapon. When you get it upgraded, it does damage and has multicast, can go to low as 5 seconds. Hamlet, it's a small weapon tool friend that when you slow, it charges it. Hand Axe, it's a small weapon on Vanessa that gives your other weapons damage at a flat rate. Harkuvian Launcher, part of the Harkuvian Rocket Troopers loadout, deals damage, a lot of diamond, it has 2 ammo, and when it gains haste, it also gains crit chance. So, Armadillo, when you shield, charges 2 seconds. Harpoon, destroy a small item. It has 1 ammo as well. You can scale this, and its cooldown gets decreased when you upgrade it. Hatchet, so when you buy this, get a truffle. It's a small weapon. Heirlooms, it's an apparel and relic. You shield equal to, 1, 2, 3, 4 times this item's value. Hemlock, it's a reagent. When it transforms, it enchants it with poison, with toxic. Honing Steel, it's a small item that scales the damage of the weapon to the right of it. Hot Springs, you buy it at Curio, it gives your heal items more heal. Hot Stones, it does burn, and it gives you regen as well. Hourglass, it reduces the cooldown of your adjacent items by a certain amount. Ice Claw, it does 50 damage, and it freezes a certain amount of items at each level, and when you freeze, it scales the Ice Claw's damage. Icicle freezes an item at the start of a fight. Small item, Idol of Decay, Lost Treasures expansion. Buy 8 poison items, and it unlocks when you poison, this gains poison. And when you have plus 75 poison on the Idol of Decay, it gains multicast. Illusoray slows an item for a certain amount, and for each adjacent friend or ray, it has +1 multicast. Improvised Bludgeon deals damage. It also does slow. However, when you sell it, your leftmost slow item gains a second of slow duration. Incense is a small slow item on Mac that slows a certain amount of items, and then it also gains regen for the fight. Induction Aegis, it's a relatively quick shield and burn item. Small as well. Jabalian Recurve Bow, used to be Longbow. Does damage with multicast 2, and it gives you another multicast if you have more health than your enemy. Jellyfish, a Vanessa item that does poison, and when you use an adjacent aquatic item, it gains haste. Junkyard Club, medium item that you typically find from Curio or Rogue Scrapper, Thug. It does a certain amount of damage, however, when you sell it, your weapons gain damage. Junkyard Lance, it does a certain amount of damage for each small item you have, including your stash. Junkyard Repair Bot does heal, however when you sell it, your leftmost heal item gains heal. Katana is a medium weapon on Vanessa, has a very low cooldown at 2 seconds and just does damage. Knee Brace, so when you fight a hero, so when you do PvP, you permanently gain max HP. Quazina's Crest, it gives your items crit chance at a flat rate. Kukri, so you do damage, and when you heal or gain regen, it's a small item, it's not as good as golf clubs, and it's scaling, however, you gain damage when you do heal or regen. Long John, so when you win a fight with Long John and play, it gains damage, it's a very momentum-based weapon with a 10-second cooldown on Vanessa. Laser Pistol is a small weapons tech item on Dually that does damage, 4-second cooldown. Laser Security System, it does damage, and when you use a property, it scales its damage. Leeches, it has lifesteal built in, and when you poison, it scales its damage on Mac. Letter Opener has built-in crit. It has around, I think it has 100 at bronze, and then 125 silver. So it crits on the first one, and when you level it up, it gains more crit and more damage. Life Conduit, quest item, gains regen. When you buy 8 regen items, it gains the ability to give it more regen when you do regen. And when you have plus 75 regen on this item, it gains multicast. Life Preserver, the first time you would die, it heals you for a certain amount instead of you dying. Medium item on Vanessa. Lifting Gloves, you find it at Curio, it gives your weapons damage. Lighter, it's a small tool. There's a very low cooldown that burns. Lumbors, it's a medium multicast weapon that gives your weapons damage for the fight. Luxury Cuirass, it is a tool that burns equal to its value, and when you sell a property, it gains value. Magic Carpet, it is a medium weapon that when you crit, it reduces its cooldown by a second. Magma Core, it is a small burn item that just burns at the start of the fight. Magnifying Glass, when you sell it, your leftmost weapon gains damage. Makeshift Barricade slows an item, and then when you sell it, your leftmost slow item gains slow duration. Mantis Shrimp, when you slow, it gains damage. It's an ammo item that has 2 ammo, and it scales its damage and burn based on your slow procs. Marble Scale Mail, when you sell this, your shield items gain 3, 6, 9, 12 shield, available from Curio. Marbles, when you use an adjacent item, you charge it 1 second, and it does slow upon activation. Matchbox, it burns, and when you use a non-weapon item, it charges a second. It's a small burn item. Medkit, it's a loot item that scales your heal items, gives them more heal. Memory Card, so when you sell it, it gives the core damage equal to a relative amount of its value, and when you use this, it gains 1 value. Micro Dave, it's a medium burn item, and when you use a small item, you charge it 1 second. It's also a friend. Money Tree, it's a property that heals equal to double its value, and when you level up and at the start of the day, you get a spare change, and spare change scales this item's value. Mortar and Pestle, it's a tool, and it gives your lifesteal weapons scaling, and the weapon to the right of it also has lifesteal. It also gives you a catalyst at the start of the day. Mothmeal is a reagent, and when it's transformed, it enchants it with heavy. Multi-tool, it hastes an item for a certain amount, and it also slows an item. Myrrh gives you regen for the fight, and when you transform it, it enchants it with restorative. Narwhal, aquatic, small weapon friend. It does a certain amount of damage with 4-second cooldown. Nightshade, it's a reagent, and when you heal or gain regen, it gains poison, and if you transform it, it enchants it with toxic. Noxus Potion, it's a small poison potion with 1 ammo, just poisons every 5 seconds. Old Sword, it does damage every 5 seconds, however, when you sell it, your leftmost weapon also gains damage. Optical Augment, at the start of the fight, you poison yourself a certain amount, and the item to the left has crit chance equal to your poison. Orange Julian, it's part of the gang expansion. It gives your weapons damage for the fight, and when you gain gold, you increase the damage bonus on this item by the gold gained. Its upgrades decrease its cooldown. Peace Roar, it gives you regen for the fight. Its cooldown decreases on an upgrade, and when you visit a merchant, you permanently destroy the item to the left of this to increase this item's regen by its value, and when you destroy an item, you gain gold. Pearl, it's a small aquatic item that gains charge when you use another aquatic item. Its shield scales on level up. Pelt is a loot item that just sells for gold. Pepper Spray, it's a small weapon that does damage, and the first time you fall below half health, it slows all of your enemy items. Pet Rock, it's a small weapon friend toy that does damage. However, if it's your only friend, your items have more crit chance. Philosopher's Stone is a small relic. You gain regen for the fight, and when you transform a reagent, it permanently gains more regen. When you buy it, you also get a catalyst. Pickles, it's a small toy. You charge adjacent small items. When you win a fight, you get a pickle. At the start of each day, upgrade a random pickle. Piggy Bank, it's a toy, and when you sell this, you get spare change equal to its value, and at the start of each hour, you spend 2 gold to gain 1 value. Great for buy-sell mechanics. Pinata, when you sell it, you just get 3 chocolate bars. Piranha, it's a small weapon item of Vanessa. It's aquatic, it's a friend. It has double crit damage, and it has built-in crit chance. Pitchfork, it's a weapon tool, and at the start of each day, you get a truffle, and if you have a property, you get another truffle, which scales your value. Plasma Grenade, it burns both player 10. Slow all your enemy items, and it scales its ammo for each level. Pop Snappers, it is a burn ammo item that's small with a 3-second cooldown of Vanessa. Potion, when you use it, it transforms into 2 small potions for the fight. It has 1 ammo. Powder Horn, it's a small tool that reloads the item to the right of it, 1 ammo, or however many it is for its level. Power Drill, it's a high cooldown item that deals 100 damage, and when you do any proc of haste, slow, freeze, poison, or burn, it charges at 2 seconds. Power Sander hastes the item to the right, and it slows the item to the left every 5 seconds as a small tool. Pulse Rifle, weapon tech, medium, and it has a multicast if it's adjacent to a friend, and it doubles it if that is your only friend. Quill and Ink, it poisons and gains regen. If you have no other weapons, it gives it multicast. Railgun is a large tech item with a high cooldown, and when you use another tech, you charge it 2 seconds. Has a high amount of fixed damage as well. Red Gumball, when you sell this, your weapons gain damage. Then we have Red Pickles A, adjacent weapons gain damage for the fight. Red Pickles L, weapons to the left gains damage. Red Pickles R, weapons to the right gain damage. And Red Pickles X, your weapons on your whole board gain damage. Then we have Red Firefly, it's a small Dualtron friend, and when an adjacent item hastes or slows, charges this 1 second, and it burns. Refractor, so when you slow, freeze, burn, or poison, it gains damage. It's a 6-second cooldown on a medium item. Regal Blade, it deals a certain amount of damage on 7 seconds. However, when you sell a weapon, it permanently scales its damage by its amount here. Retort is you transform a reagent, it permanently scales its poison. At the start of each day, spend 3 gold to get a chunk of lead, similar to Calcinator. Revolver, it's a small ammo item with 6 ammo, and when you crit, it reloads at 2 ammo, and it has built-in crit with a low cooldown of 4 seconds. Rewards card, so when you visit a merchant, this and the item to the left gain value. Rifle, so when you use this, you reload the ammo if it's your only weapon with a cooldown. It's a medium weapon. Drinking Gauntlets, it deals damage equal to a certain amount relative to your income with 2 multicasts, and when it's in play, it also increases your income. Robe, it shields 100 and has cooldown lowered on upgrades, and when you use an adjacent item, it charges at 1 second. Rocket Boots haste adjacent items every 5 seconds, and when you sell it, your haste item, leftmost, gains +1 haste duration. Rocket Launcher, it's a medium weapon that does 8, 12, 6, 20 damage. It burns as well. It has 3 multicasts on a 7-second cooldown. Rolling Pin on an 11-second cooldown as a medium weapon does damage, and when it gains haste, it gains damage for the fight. Ruby, it burns every 10 seconds as a relic, and your other items have a flat amount of increased burn. Runeaxe, it does damage, and when you sell this, your weapons gain damage. Safe, and when you sell this, you get 3 spare chains. Salamander Pup, it burns every 9 seconds as a medium item, but when you sell this, your leftmost burn item gains burn. Sands of Time. Lost Treasures Relic, part of the expansion. When you buy 6 slow items, it gains multicast. When you buy 5 relics, it gains the use and adjacent relic charges 1 second. Satcom, you haste a friend to the right, but at the start of the day, you get a small friend from any hero. This is really what you're using it for. Scrap is a small loot item that scales your leftmost shield item and gives it more shield. Seashell, it's an aquatic small shield item that shields per aquatic item you have. Seaweed, so when you use an aquatic item, seaweed gains more heal. Security Camera, it shields for a certain amount every 9 seconds. It's a medium item, but it gives your shield items crit chance, which upgrades relative to Security Camera's level. Shadow Cloak, so it is a passive item, so when you use the item to the right, you haste it for a certain amount, and if it's a weapon, it also gains damage. Shard of Obsidian, it's a small weapon reagent that has lifesteal built in, 5-second cooldown. When you transform it, enchant it with Obsidian. Shark Claws, it's a medium aquatic weapon that does damage, and it also gives your other weapons damage for the fight. Sharpening Stone is a small loot item that gives your leftmost weapon damage permanently. Shoeblade is a small weapon apparel that does damage. It has crit chance built in as well, goes all the way to 100 a diamond. Shovel is a medium weapon, 10-second cooldown, however you use it mostly for getting a small item from any hero at the start of the day. Showcase is part of the Investment Opportunities expansion. It's a property. It gives your weapons damage for the fight if you have 3 or more weapons. If you have 3 or more shield items, it gives them shield for the fight. Silencer is a small passive item that gives a weapon to the left plus damage, and if you have 1 weapon, it reduces its cooldown. Silk Scarf shields for a certain amount every 8 seconds, and when you sell any non-weapon item, it gains shield permanently. Sleeping Potion is a small potion. 4 seconds, it slows the slowest enemy item for a certain amount, and it has 1 ammo. Slingshot deals a certain amount of damage with ammo. Its ammo is relative to each toy you have. Smelling Salts, it slows an item every 7 seconds, and when this or an adjacent item slows, it hastes the item to the left for a certain amount. Spare Change, it just sells for gold. Spider Mace, it's a small weapon that charges off of slower poison. It's a 10-second cooldown. Spiked Buckler deals damage and it also shields, but when you sell it, your leftmost item gains damage if it's a weapon, and it gains shield if it's a shield item. Spiky Shield, it shields for a certain amount. It does damage equal to your character's shield at that point in time every 9 seconds. Star Chart is a passive tool relic item. Gives your adjacent items crit, and adjacent items also gain cooldown. This can also be used in the Go to Work at the Docks event to gain XP on Vanessa, or any character if you have the Star Chart. Steam Ladle burns for 2. When you freeze, it scales its burn. Goes off every 4 seconds. Stinger, built-in lifesteal, deals damage. It also slows every 7 seconds. Succulence, it heals, and then on usage, it also permanently gains heal every 5 seconds. Sulfur, small reagent. When it transforms, enchants it with Fiery. Sunderer, it does damage as a small weapon every 5 seconds, and it reduces the shield of your enemy's items. Super Syrup, it's another food permanent destroy, so it gives your adjacent items crit chance. It permanently loses ammo and destroys it when it reaches 0. Switchblade, it's a small weapon, but when you use an adjacent weapon, those weapons gain damage for the fight. Very well used with quick weapons. Goes off every 9 seconds, Switchblade. Sword Cane, it deals damage. If it's adjacent to a regen item, it does regen. If it's adjacent to a burn item, on usage of the Sword Cane, it does burn. If it's adjacent to a poison item, it does poison. Tanky Anki does damage as a large dinosaur weapon friend, reduces its cooldown on upgrade, and when one of your dinosaurs deals damage, you gain that much shield. Tzidian Dagger, weapon relic, gives the potion to the left of this more ammo. It's also a weapon. Every 6 seconds it does damage. Temporary Shelter, it's a large shield item property. Every 7 seconds it shields, and when you sell a small item, this gains shield. Textiles, it heals equal to your shield, and when you overheal, you shield whatever this item's value is. These are the values for each level up. Thurable, small tool relic, it burns, and it also gives you regen every 6 seconds. Tiny Cutlass, only available from 8-Armed Davy. Deals damage, multicast 2 every 6 seconds, and it deals double crit damage. It's literally just a single slot version of the Cutlass. Toolbox, part of Stell's character. So it reduces tool cooldowns by a percentage, and it also shields every 7 seconds. Tourist Chariot, it's a vehicle available from Curio. Shields every 5 seconds, but it's really used for when you're selling it. Gains value for all your items. Train Spider, it's a small friend. It gives your leftmost poison item more poison. Trebuchet's a large weapon on Vanessa, and when you use a weapon or haste, you charge it. It also does damage and burn. 10-second cooldown on that one. Truffle, it's a food item, and when you sell it, your leftmost item gains value. Tusked Helm, when it deals damage, it does shield. It has 2 multicast. It's small, and it goes off every 10 seconds with the weapon, apparel, and relic items tags. Uwashiwali Bird, 5 seconds, you heal, and it has a multicast for each property you have on your board. Uzi, it's a small ammo weapon with a really low cooldown at 2 seconds. It deals a low amount of damage, and its ammo scales relevant to its level. Venom, it's a passive item that when you use the left weapon to the left of it, it does poison. Venomander, it's a small friend that gives you poison and regen every 6 seconds. Venomous Dose, it's a small poison item, part of the Dangerous Experiments expansion. Poisons both players, but you gain regen for the fight equal to this item's poison. Virus, it's a small tech item. You poison yourself and you transform another small item on each player's board into Virus. Its cooldown gets reduced and its poison gets increased for each level. Volcanic Vents, it's a medium multicast burn item, goes off every 7 seconds, has 3 multicasts, its burn scales equal to its level. Wallace, it's a small friend that shields, and when it goes off, its shield increases for the fight. Weak Point Detector, it's a medium tool, and your weapons gain damage for the fight. When you slow it, it charges at 2 seconds with a 6-second cooldown. Weights, it's a medium tool, your weapons gain damage, and your heal items gain heal. When you overheal, it charges the weights, it has a 6-second cooldown. Welding Helmet, it's a medium apparel item on dually, shields and burns every 4 seconds. Welding Torch, it's also on dually, its cooldown decreases with its level, it just burns, but while you have shield, its item's cooldown gets reduced by 2 seconds. Wrist Warrior, it's a weapon tool apparel, it's small. Adjacent items, they gain shield when it gets used every 5 seconds, however, when the item to the left of this shields, this Wrist Warrior does damage. Yellow Gumball, when you sell this, your shield items gain shield. Yellow Pickles A, adjacent shield items gain shield. Yellow Pickles L, shield items to the left gain shield. R, your shield items to the right gain shield. X, your shield items on your whole board gain shield. Yeti Crab, Mysteries of the Deep expansion, it's Aquatic Friend. You freeze an item every 7 seconds, and when you freeze, your adjacent poison items to the Yeti Crab gain poison for the fight. Yo-Yo, it's a 4-second weapon that only does 1 damage. However, when you use an adjacent item, it gets charged by 4 seconds. Zoarcid, Mysteries of the Deep expansion, Aquatic Weapon Friend. It does damage. It hastes adjacent items as well every 6 seconds. And when you burn, you get to charge it 1 second. 28-Hour Fitness, it's a passive item. And when you use a weapon, your items with shield gain shield. And when you shield, your weapons gain damage. Adrenal Converter, it's a medium dangerous experiments apparel item. It goes off every 6 seconds. It poisons both players. And when you poison yourself, you gain regen and you haste. Alembic is a tool, passive item. At the start of each day, you gain a catalyst and you transform the item to the left of this into a random potion. When you buy it, you also get a reagent. Alpha Ray, it's a ray. Every 7 seconds it deals damage, but when you use the core or another ray, your weapons gain damage for the fight. Amber, it's a small relic. It slows every 6 seconds, and your slow items also have 1 more duration on your board. Angry Balloon Bot, it's a friend medium weapon on dually with a 4-second cooldown that does 10 damage. When you lose shield, it gains damage equal to a percentage of that shield lost. Apothecary, you get regen for the fight every 6 seconds. It's a large property. When you haste, slow, poison, or burn, you charge it a second, and you also get a reagent at the start of each day. Apropos Chapeau, it's an apparel item. Your weapons gain damage, your heal items gain heal, your shield items gain shield. If you have another tool, weapon, property, or apparel, this gains multicast. Arbalest, it's a medium weapon. You deal 100 damage. It has 1 ammo, high cooldown at 9 seconds. However, when you haste, it gains damage equal to its level, whatever the scaling is for the fight. Armored Core, it's a core on dually. Shields for 20, cooldown gets decreased for level. Its shield and its scaling gets increased as well for each level. It also scales items to the right. When you use items to the left, it charges the core. Astrolabe, it's a tool, 7, 6, and 5 relative to its level. Hastes a non-weapon for 2 seconds, and when you use another non-weapon, it charges it for 1 second. Athanor, it's a property, and it reloads adjacent items every 5 seconds, and when you use a potion, you burn, and at the start of the day, you gain a catalyst. Atomic Clock, it increases an enemy's item cooldown by a certain amount for its level for the fight. It has 3 ammo. It's a 1-second medium item. It's also a tech. Aurora Dome, it's a property item, part of frozen assets. Every 5 seconds you shield for 20, but when you shield, your shield items gain shield for the fight. Bad Blocker, part of investment opportunities, small tech apparel. Every 8 seconds it shields, however it gains multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10. Balcony, it's a medium property, and the property to the left of this has double value in combat, and it has cooldown reduction. Balloon Bot, medium friend, opposite of the angry one. 5 seconds, you shield 20, and when you use a weapon, this gains shield. Barbed wire, small weapon. You deal damage every 5 seconds. However, when you shield, it scales its damage. Beast of Burden, weapon friend vehicle. Those aren't its only tags though. Every 10 seconds it does damage. However, this has the types of items you have, and it has +1 multicast for each of its types. Beehive, it's a medium property. When your enemy uses an item, you charge your bees 2 seconds, and when you buy it, you get bees. When you buy a property, it scales your bees damage. Ballista, 9 second with 40 damage. When you haste, it gains damage for the fight. And when this gains haste, the item specifically, it charges at 2 seconds. Belt, it's a passive medium apparel item that scales your health relative to its level. Bulldozer, it's a large friend vehicle weapon. It also has a 6-second cooldown. It deals a certain amount of damage flat. However, when you use another friend, it gains damage for the fight. And it also reduces your other friend's cooldown. Black Ice, it's a medium freeze poison item with 7-second cooldown. And when you freeze, you poison. Black Pepper, it's a small food item part of jewels. It burns, it charges adjacent items a certain amount, and it also has multicast. Goes off every 8 seconds. Black Rose, you gain regen for the fight every 8 seconds, and when you poison, it scales the Black Rose's regen amount. Black Spider, it's a small friend part of Dualtron. Every 6 seconds, it slows a certain amount of items, and when an adjacent item poisons or burns, it charges at 1 second. Blue Beetle, a part of the Dualtron again, freezes 1, 2, 3 items for half a second. Every 6 seconds, when an adjacent item poisons, it charges at 1 second. Booby Trap is a toy on Pig with a 7-second cooldown that freezes an item for a certain amount, and when you use a property, it charges at 1 second. Bootstraps is a passive item that you keep in your stash. It's an apparel. Every 50 gold you spend, it upgrades an item of a lower tier. Bullet Explosion is a potion weapon on Mac that deals damage, and it doubles its damage for the fight with a 6-second cooldown with 1 ammo. Bottle Tornado is a potion on Mac, and it starts the sandstorm and it slows items. Broken Shackles is no tags, it's just a small item. 8-second cooldown, your weapons gain damage, and when you use a weapon, you charge the Broken Shackles. Business Card is a small item. When you visit a merchant, it gains value. 1, 2, 3. For every 5 merchants you visit, you upgrade it. Busy Bee, so it's part of the bees, part of the hive, the property we were looking at earlier. 7 seconds, it deals a certain amount of damage relative to its scaling you get. Butterfly Swords is a small weapon. Its multicast is relevant to its level. It is 8 seconds and it deals 5 damage flat. Cannonade is a large Vanessa weapon. 7 seconds, you deal a flat amount of damage, and when you use another weapon, you charge at 2 seconds. Capacitor is a small tech item that charges adjacent items 1 second. Its cooldown gets decreased for its level. Captain's Quarters is a large item part of the gang. It's an aquatic property. Haste's a vehicle. For 2, 3, 4 seconds, you charge a tool, you reload an ammo item, and a weapon gains damage for the fight every 4 seconds. Captain's Wheel, it is a medium aquatic tool item that hastes adjacent items, and if you have a vehicle or a large item, it reduces its cooldown, the Captain's Wheel cooldown, by 2.5 seconds. Card Table, it's a medium gang item, so a friend gains multicast every 4 seconds, and then the card table's cooldown gets increased by 432 seconds for the fight. Cash Cannon is a medium weapon on Pig, and when you gain gold, it permanently gives Cash Cannon damage relative to the amount of gold gained. 7-second cooldown. Cauldron is a medium tool item on Mac. Burns for each type it has, poisons for each type it has every 5 seconds. This has the types of items you have on your board. Cellar, it's a medium item on Mac that reloads an item and you gain regen for the fight every 4 seconds. Charcoal is a dually item. It's a small friend with an 8-second cooldown that burns, and when you use another friend, this gains burn for the fight. Claw Arm is a medium weapon tech item on dually with a 5-second cooldown that deals 20 damage. When it gains haste, this and the weapon to the left gains damage for the fight. Clarence is a medium friend weapon that deals 20 damage. It goes off every 6 seconds, and when you use a friend, this gains damage for the fight. The Cog is a small relic that hastes an adjacent item every 4 seconds. Coinker is part of investment opportunities. It's a medium tool with 7 seconds cooldown. You gain regen equal to its value or relative to it per level. When you win a fight with this in play, it gains value. When you lose a fight, it destroys it, and you gain gold equal to its value. Cauldron, part of frozen assets, is a medium property, 12-second cooldown. You freeze a certain amount of items for its level. When you freeze, you gain regen, and when your enemy uses an item, you charge the Cauldron 1 second. Colossal Popsicle is a weapon food, large weapon item that deals a flat amount of damage, and it freezes 2 items for a certain amount every 9 seconds. When you sell it, you also gain icicles. Combat Core, it is a large core tech weapon item on dually with a vehicle tag as well. Deals 30 damage, shields 30 with 6-second cooldown. When you use an item to the left, it gains damage. When you use an item to the right, it gains shield. Companion Core is a core tech friend. Cooldown gets reduction on level upgrades. It hastes adjacent items. And when you use another friend, you charge the Companion Core 1 second. Concealed Dagger, it's a small weapon. 9-second cooldown, it deals damage. And then you also gain gold upon its usage. Cool LEDs is a small dually tech item that slows an item every 5 seconds. When you use the core, you charge it 1 second. Coolant is a small item on dually. You freeze a certain amount of items relative to its level every 5 seconds, and then you also cleanse half your burn. Cooling Fan is a small tech item on dually. The core gains crit chance for the fight on usage every 6 seconds, and while either player has burn, this item's cooldown Cooling Fan is reduced by 3 seconds. Cosmic Plumage is a relic medium. Your shield items gain shield, and your weapon items gain damage every 7 seconds, and when you crit, it charges Cosmic Plumage. Covetous Raven is a medium friend weapon on Mac. Every 8 seconds, you deal damage, and when you use another relic or enchanted item, you charge it 2 seconds. Critical Core is another core item on dually. Core tech weapon. Cooldown gets reduced on upgrades, it deals damage. This and items to the right have crit chance relative to its level. When you use any item to the left, it charges the crit core, but when you crit with any item, it charges it 1 second. Crocodile Tears is a small potion weapon on Mac, 13-second cooldown, deals a damage, has 1 ammo, however when your enemy takes damage in any instance, it gains damage. Crocodile Tears gains damage for the fight. Crook is a medium tool weapon, 6-second cooldown, deals 16 damage, and your other medium weapons have more damage for each medium item you have. Cairo Sleeve is apparel, available at Focus and Forza and some other merchants. 4-second cooldown, freezes this and adjacent items for a second. And when any item gains freeze, you gain shield. And when one of your items gain freeze, it reduces the duration by half. Crystal Bonsai is a small relic that heals equal to its or relative to its value every 4 seconds. At the start of his fight, it gains value. However, when you lose a fight with it in play, it destroys it. Curry is a small food item with a nice second cooldown, burns, and it also charges another small item for an amount relative to its level. Custom Scope is a passive small item. The weapon to the right has crit chance, and if you have one weapon, when you crit with it, it charges a non-weapon item for a second. Cybersecurity is a medium friend weapon on dually. It does 10, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8 on its cooldown, deals 30 damage. It has more damage for each other weapon and tech item you have, and it has a multiplier if it's your only friend. Darkwater Anglerfish, it burns for 10, 20, 30 on an 8-second cooldown. When you slow, it charges at 2 seconds. It's a medium friend and aquatic item. Death Caps, it's a reagent, medium on Mac. Poisons for 2, and it gives your poison items poison for the fight every 5 seconds. When you transform it, it gains toxic on the enchant. Defense Matrix on dually, it's a tech item, 8-second cooldown. It hastes adjacent items for a certain amount, and when you use an adjacent item, you shield. Dinosaur, it's a weapon friend and dinosaur item. Medium on a 9-second cooldown, it does damage. The first time you use it, it destroys a small item. When you destroy an item, your dinosaurs permanently gain damage. Dino Disguise, Dinosaur Relic Apparel, it's a medium item, part of Primal Dually. 8-second cooldown, shields, adjacent items are dinosaurs, they gain the tag. This has a multicast for each other relic or dinosaur you have. Disguise, it's a passive item, it's apparel. When you buy this, you get a non-Vanessa item. Your items from other heroes have a certain amount more crit chance. Dive Weights on Vanessa, part of Mysteries of the Deep, aquatic tool apparel. Haste, an item, has ammo, 8-second cooldown, and for each adjacent aquatic item, reduce dive weight's cooldown, and it has plus multicast equal to its ammo. Diving helmet, medium aquatic tool apparel item, shields for 25 every 6 seconds. When you use an aquatic item, it gains shield for the fight. Adjacent items are aquatic. DJ Circuit Breaker, dually, medium friend, hastes your friends, reduces the cooldown or level up. When you buy it, you gain a nanobot, and when you use another friend, you charge this 1 second. Dock Lines, it's a tool and aquatic medium item that slows items relative to its level. 5-second cooldown. Dooley Scarf is an apparel item, 5-second cooldown, shield 75, 125, and when this or an adjacent item gains freeze, it just removes it. Double Whammy, it's a weapon on Pig. It deals damage equal to a certain amount of your max health every 12 seconds, and it has due multicast. Dragon Whelp is a weapon friend dragon. It deals 1 damage and it burns equal to this item's damage. Its cooldown gets reduced for its level. Dragon Wing is a medium dragon item. It has a 7-second cooldown and it shields, and when you burn, it charges it. Dragon's Breath is a dragon potion relic item with a 10-second cooldown, burns for 10 with 1 ammo. It's on Mac. When you use an adjacent item or dragon item, this gains burn for the fight. Duct Tape is a small tool on Dooley. 6-second cooldown, you slow an item on usage. When you use the item to the left of the duct tape, you shield. Earrings, it's an apparel relic item. It's small. Every 5 seconds, you gain max health for the fight. This is a Mac item, by the way. When you haste or slow, you charge it a second. Ectoplasm, it's a small poison and heal item. You poison and you heal equal to your enemy's poison every 7 seconds. Electric Eels, it's a large aquatic weapon friend item on Vanessa. Cooldown gets reduced for its level, deals 50 damage and slows an item, and when your enemy uses an item, it charges the eels 2 seconds. Elemental Depth Charge, Mysteries the Deep on Vanessa, aquatic tech item. Cooldown gets reduced for its level. Poisons, burns, and freezes 1 medium or small item for half a second. Has 1 ammo, and it has a multicast for each other aquatic item you have. Energy Potion, it's a potion on Mac. Haste your other items for 1, 2, 3 seconds. It has 6-second cooldown, 1 ammo, haste all your other items. Excavation Tools, part of Lost Treasures on the Mac. Charges an adjacent relic 1, 2, 3 seconds every 6 seconds. If you have a quest item, it reduces the Excavation Tools cooldown by 3 seconds. Feather, small loot item that gives all your items cooldown to 4/6 per its level. Figurehead, medium aquatic relic. Vanessa item as well. Aquatic items to the left have cooldown reduction. Weapons to the right have damage. Fireclaw, it's a relic on Mac, 7-second cooldown and it burns. It also has burn equal to a certain percentage of the burn of your other items per its level. Flagship, it's a large Vanessa item with the aquatic vehicle and weapon tags, 7-second cooldown, deals a flat amount of damage. If you have tool, property, friend, or ammo types on your board, it gains a multicast for each one of those types. Flamethrower, it's a weapon tool, medium on Dooley, cooldown gets reduced per its level, it deals 2 damage on its base, and it burns equal to its damage. Flashbang, it's a small ammo item, slows all enemy items, and it has 1 ammo, takes 7 seconds to go off. Floor Spike, it's a small weapon on Mac, it deals damage, it poisons every 9 seconds, and when either player uses a weapon, it charges it for a second. Force Field is a large tech item on Dooley that's a weapon, it shields and then you deal damage equal to your shield every 5 seconds. Forgotten God is a relic, it poisons every 6 seconds, and when an adjacent item slows, the Forgotten God item gains poison for the fight. Friendly Doll is a weapon friend toy. You get from Ventriloquist, it goes every 3 seconds, does damage. If this is your only friend, it also has crit chance. Frost Potion is a small potion on Mac that you freeze a certain amount of items for a second every 6 seconds. It has 1 ammo. Frozen Frame, large Mac relic, 5 seconds burns, and when you freeze it gains burn, and the first time you fall below half health, it freezes all of your enemy's items. Gamma Ray, it's a small Dooley ray item, 7 seconds of poisons. When you use the core or another ray, this and adjacent poison items gain poison for the fight. Globe, it's a medium pig tool, start of each day you permanently gain max health. Goof Flail, it's a large Mac weapon with multicast times 3. Cooldown gets reduced per its level, deals damage and it poisons equal to its damage. Grape Shot, it's a Vanessa small weapon ammo, 4-second cooldown, deals damage 2 ammo. When you use another ammo, it reloads it. Grindstone, it's a medium pig tool, weapon to the left of this gains damage for the fight every 4 seconds. Guardian Shell, it's a relic, medium, Green Heart Guardian. 6 seconds, you shield, and when you poison, it charges at 1 second. Gumball Machine on Pig, it is a toy. You 5 seconds, you shield. However, the main thing you're using it for, at the start of each hour, you spend 2 gold to get a gumball. Gunpowder is a small loot item, and when you sell it, your leftmost ammo item gains max ammo. Hammer, it's a small weapon tool from Stel. When you level up, If you have at least 3 tools, you upgrade an item of a lower tier to the hammer. Hogwash is a large pig property item that heals equal to a percentage of your max health. Its cooldown gets reduced per its level. When you heal or gain regen, you gain max health for the fight. Holsters is a small passive Vanessa apparel item. At the start of each fight, your small items gain haste. Hydraulic press is a weapon tool. However, it's not just that. It's a large dually item with 20-second cooldown. Does no damage. At the start of each fight, you permanently destroy an item to the left and it gains that item's types. This has damage equal to 100, 200, 300 times the number of types it has. Hydraulic squeezer on Stell. Tool, weapon, it's a medium item. 10 seconds, you deal damage. Your weapons also gain damage, and when you use another tool, it charges it. Hypergreen's a medium pig on investment opportunities expansion. 4 seconds, adjacent items gain value. When you use an adjacent item, you heal equal to value of adjacent items. Ice 9000 on Dually, medium friend. You poison for 9, you freeze 1, 2, 3 items for a second every 9 seconds, and when you freeze, this gains poison. Ice cream truck, it's a large pig vehicle food. You freeze 1, 2, 3 items, 9-second cooldown. When you use another non-weapon item, you charge it a second. Ice pick, it's a Vanessa small weapon tool. You deal damage, it should be 6 seconds. You freeze 1 item as well. When you freeze, it gains damage for the fight. Icebreaker, it's a medium weapon tool. 7 seconds, you deal damage, you remove freeze from your items, and when any item gains freeze, you charge it 1, 2, 3 seconds, and when it gains freeze, you remove freeze from it. Igloo, it's a large pig property that freezes items for a second every 7 seconds, and when you freeze, you shield, and the first time you fall below half health, you use the igloo. Ignition core, it's a medium dually core, it's also a tech item. Cooldown gets reduced per its level. It burns for 4, and this and burn items to the right gain burn. When you use any items to the left, it charges the core a second. Incendiary rounds of Vanessa is a small passive item. When you use an adjacent item, you burn, and adjacent items also have +1 ammo. Infinite potion on Mac. It's a small potion that gains regen, gives you regen for the fight every 4 seconds, and it also reloads itself. It has 1 ammo, goes infinitely. Insect wing, it is a loot item. Small, when you sell it, it reduces your leftmost item's cooldown by 369 relative to its level. Isochronic freezer, it's a small dually tech item. Every 5 seconds it freezes an item with a cooldown of 5 or less seconds for 1, 2, 3 seconds. Jabalian drum, it's a large pig item that's also a relic. When you use a weapon, your weapons gain damage. When you use a weapon, you haste it for a certain amount. Javelin, it's a medium Vanessa weapon that deals damage, has 2 ammo, goes off every 5 seconds, and when you haste, it reloads. Jitte, it's a small Vanessa weapon, deals damage, it slows as well every 6 seconds, and when you slow, it gains damage for the fight. Junkyard catapult, it's a large weapon, deals damage, burns, poisons, has 1 ammo on it, and it goes off every 7 seconds. Kinetic cannon is a large weapon tech item on Dually. It deals damage. Cooldown gets reduced per level. When you use a small item, it charges the core a second, and it gains damage. The kinetic cannon gains damage for the fight. Knife set is a dual item. It's a weapon tool. Every 6 seconds, you deal damage, and when you use another weapon, you charge the knife set 2 seconds. Landscraper, it's a large pig property. Every 7 seconds, you shield for 200. Shield items have shield equal to this item's value. When you sell 10 items, give this value. Ledger, it's a medium pig item. When you sell 10 items, adjacent items gain value. Lemonade stand, it's a large pig item. It's a property. Cooldown scales on its level. Regen equal to 5% of your max health for the fight. When you sell a small item, you permanently gain max health. Light bulb, it's a small dually tech item. Cooldown gets reduced. It charges the tech item to the right every 3, 4, 5 seconds relative to its level. When you buy this, you get a small tech item. Lighthouse is a large property aquatic on Vanessa. Cooldown gets reduced every level. It burns for 20, and when you slow, you charge the lighthouse 2 seconds. Lockbox, it's a relic medium item on Vanessa. When you win a fight, it gains value, and when your weapons have damage equal to the lockbox's value. Magnus Femur, it's a large weapon relic on Mac. High cooldown, deals 300 damage. When you slow, it charges at 2 seconds, and it gains damage. Macroscope, part of the Lost Treasures expansion on Mac. It's a tool, small, 765 second cooldown for 1 second. You slow an item for 1 second, sorry, and then when you have another relic quest or enchanted item, it has +1 multicast for each. Masterpiece is a medium relic on Pig. At the start of each hour, it gains value. Mech Moles is a medium friend weapon on Dually. It does damage every 7 seconds. When it gains haste, your weapons gain damage. When it gains haste, your shield items gain shield. Metronome is a small passive dually item. When you use an adjacent item, you haste the other item, and vice versa. Miss Isles is a medium dually item. It's a weapon of friend. You deal damage every 4 seconds. It has 1 ammo with 2 multicast, and when you use the core, you reload it. Model ship is a medium pig item, aquatic vehicle, and toy tags. 5 seconds, you shield, and adjacent toys have a +1 multicast. Monitor lizard is a medium dually item, has the friend tag. Every 5 seconds, it poisons 5. When this gains haste, it gains poison for the fight. Monocle is a small pig item with tool and apparel tags. It has 6 seconds, and it shields equal to a multiple of your gold. Motherboard is a medium dually tech item. Every 5 seconds, you haste adjacent items, and when you use an adjacent tech item, it charges this 1 second. Mr. Richardson is part of the gang expansion on Vanessa. It's a friend and aquatic item. Small, 6 seconds, you shield 10. When you haste or slow, it gains shield for the fight. Musket is a medium Vanessa weapon. You deal damage, has 1 ammo, 100% crit chance every 6 seconds. When you burn, it also reloads. Nanobot is a small friend weapon. Every 6 seconds, you deal damage for each friend, and this item's cooldown is reduced by 1 second for each adjacent friend. Nesting Doll is a small toy on Vanessa. Goes off every 2 seconds, shields equal to this item's ammo, has 8 ammo to start, and at the start of each day, this gains max ammo. Neural Toxin is a small passive item. When you use an adjacent weapon, you slow an item. Nitro is a small tech item on Dually. Every 4 seconds, you burn both players, and you charge an item on your board. Nitrogen Hammer is a medium weapon on Dually. Every 10 seconds, you deal 200 damage and you freeze an item, but when you freeze, you scale the damage and you charge it 1 second. Oil Lantern is a medium Mac item that burns. Its cooldown scales to its level. When you gain regen, it also charges the Oil Lantern 2 seconds. Ointment is a small pig item that heals equal to relative to your gold, and it cleanses half your burner poison, 6 second cooldown as well. Alt Soul Claw is a small weapon, part of the gang. Aquatic friend and weapon on Vanessa, 6 seconds, deals damage. When you haste or slow, it gains damage for the fight. Omega Ray is a small ray item on Dually. 7 seconds you burn. When you use the core on another raid, this and adjacent burn items gain burn. Ouroboros Statue is a medium Mac item. It's a relic. You poison every 6 seconds, and when you poison, this gains you gain regen for the fight. Oven Mitts is a medium Jewels item. It's an apparel. Every 7 seconds you hasten an item and you shield, and when you burn, you charge the Oven Mitts. Palanquin is a Mac item, large, passive, vehicle, dinosaur. Your items have crit chance, and when you crit with an item, you reduce that item's cooldown for the fight. Pawn Shop on Pig is a large property. When you sell an item, it gains value. You have increased max health equal to this item's value. It's also passive. Pen FT is a small item on Pig, part of investment opportunities. Every 2 seconds, your items gain value for the fight. Is also tech. Plasma Rifle is a medium weapon tech item. 10 seconds, you deal damage. When you burn, it scales the damage, and it also charges it 1 second. Poppy Field is a large passive item on Mac. It's a property. When you use a weapon, you poison, and your weapons have damage equal to the certain percentage of poison on your enemy. Port is a large Vanessa property aquatic item. Every 7 seconds, you reload all of your items, ammo, and you charge them 1 second. At the start of each day, you get a small ammo item from any hero. Potion Distillery is a large Mac item. It's also a tool. Your potions have ammo, your potions have their cooldown reduced, and when you visit a merchant, you transform the small item to the left of the Potion Distillery into a random potion. Powder Keg is a medium weapon on Vanessa. You deal damage equal to a certain percentage of your enemy's max health, and then you destroy the powder keg. Goes off every 20 seconds, but when you burn, you charge it 2 seconds. Primal Claw is medium on Dually, part of the Primal Dually expansion, weapon dinosaur core relic. 765, deals 30 damage. Your dinosaur and relic weapons gain 10, 20, 30 damage for the fight. Adjacent items at relic. When you use another dinosaur and relic, you charge it 1 second. Proboscis is a small passive weapon that when you slow, it just does damage. Propane Tank on Stel is a tool, medium. Every 7 seconds, you haste your vehicles, and you burn both players. If you have a vehicle, you use this at the start of each fight. Pufferfish is a medium aquatic friend. Every 8 seconds, you poison. When you haste, charges 2 seconds on Vanessa. Pig's Gym is a pig item. It's a property, 1197 relative to its level. Cooldown, your weapons gain damage equal to this item's value for the fight. When you buy a weapon, this gains 357 value, and then you also gain max health. Pylon is a large property on Dually. You slow every 4 seconds. However, when you slow, in any instance, you haste. Quicksilver is a small Mac item. When you 3 seconds goes off, it transforms into a copy of another small item on your board. Race Car is a medium Dually item, friend, weapon, vehicle. 9 second cooldown. Does damage. When you haste, you charge Race Car. Rainbow Potion is a potion, small. Every 7 seconds, you burn, freeze, slow, and it has 1 ammo. You also do poison. Ramrod is a medium Vanessa item. It's also a tool. Every 5 seconds, you reload adjacent ammo items. Your ammo items have crit chance, and when one of your ammo items run out of ammo, you charge it. Charge the Ramrod, sorry. Rapid injection system is a medium Mac item, part of dangerous experiments. It's also a tool. When you poison yourself, you poison for 812. When you use an adjacent item, poison yourself for 812, and you gain 2-4 poison, 2-4 regen for the fight. Man. Oh, this is tough. Tough on my voice. Congrats if you have made it this far. Okay. Recycling bin. When you use a potion, you transform it into another potion for a fight, and you gain regen. It's a medium Mac item. Red button, it's a small tech item on Dually. 1098 on its cooldown. Charge adjacent light items for half of their cooldown. Regen potion on Mac. Small potion, you gain regen for the fight with 1 ammo every 5 seconds. Remote control, small Dually tech item. You use a core. 1098 second cooldown. Repeater, it's a medium Vanessa weapon. 7 seconds, you deal damage. 6 ammo. When you use another ammo item, you charge the repeater. Rex Specs, it's a large dinosaur, part of the Primal Dually expansion. It also has the friends and weapon tags. 8-second item, deals 25 damage. If your enemy has more items than you, you destroy one of their items. And then for each dinosaur or relic adjacent, has its cooldown decreased. When you use another friend dinosaur or relic, it gains damage. Rice Baller, pig investment opportunities and tool. Every 7 seconds you burn, and it has a multicast for each item you have in play with value over 10. Rowboat, it's a medium aquatic vehicle item with Vanessa. Every 9 seconds you charge adjacent items. When you have 5 or more unique types, its cooldown is essentially halved. Runic Daggers, medium on Mac. Weapon relic every 6 seconds. 2 times multicast, you deal damage. Has built-in lifesteal. When you crit with another item, you charge your Runic Daggers 1 second. Runic Doublebow, medium Mac item. It's a weapon and relic. Deals damage. 2 multicast every 7 seconds. It deals double crit damage, and it has lifesteal. Runic Great Axe on Mac. Weapon relic, it's large. 11 seconds, you deal damage. Your lifesteal weapons have plus 100% crit chance, and this has built-in lifesteal. Runic Potion, it's a small potion on Mac. You haste your lifesteal weapons every 4 seconds. It also gains lifesteal on 1 weapon, and it has ammo scaling to its level. Salt is a food item on Jewels. Adjacent items gain crit chance for the fight every 3 seconds. Sapphire is a small relic on Mac. You freeze an item relative to its level every 8 seconds, and your freeze items have 0.5 seconds more freeze on them. Satchel on Mac is a medium tool. Reloads 2 items 8, 7, 6 seconds. When you reload, you gain regen. When you buy a potion, increase Satchel's regen by a certain amount. Sauna is a medium item on Pig, part of frozen assets, and it's a property. Every 7 seconds you burn, and when you burn, you heal and gain regen. Schematics is a medium passive item on Dually. When you level up, you get a small tech item. Sea Dog's Saloon on Vanessa is an aquatic property that's large. You hasten an item, you slow an item every 654 seconds, and it has +1 multicast for each friend you have. Sea Shadow on Vanessa, it is a friend vehicle that's medium. You reduce the cooldown of your other items by 8% and increase Sea Shadow's cooldown by 432 seconds every 2 seconds. Sextant is a medium Vanessa item. It has the aquatic and tool tags. When you crit, you haste, and adjacent items have more crit. Shark Ray is a medium Vanessa item. Aquatic weapon friend ray tags. 7 seconds, you deal damage, and when you haste, it gains damage for the fight. Shipment is a large pig item. When you sell this, you get 3 small items from any hero. Shot Glass is a small Vanessa item, part of the gang expansion. You haste your items for 1 second every 4 seconds. You also slow your items for 1 second, and it has ammo scaling to its level. Snow Globe is a medium Mac item. You burn through, you gain regen every 7 seconds. When you use a potion, it gains burn and regen for the fight. Shrinking Potion is a small Mac item. It reduces your enemy's max health by a certain amount, and it has ammo, goes off every 8 seconds. Sifting Pan is a medium Mac item that's a tool. At the start of each day, you gain a catalyst, and when you sell a catalyst, you gain regen. Signet Ring is a small apparel and relic on Pig. Start of each hour, you gain max health, and you have a certain amount more income. Sirens is a medium stealth item. You slow an item, you haste an item every 8 seconds for each adjacent vehicle that says +1 multicast. Skillet is a medium tool on Jewels. 6 seconds, you burn. If both adjacent items are food, this has +1 multicast. Sniper Rifle is a medium weapon on Vanessa. Every 11 seconds, you deal 100 damage. This deals a certain amount times more damage if it's your only weapon. It multiplies its damage. Snow globe on pig. It's a medium property toy. Freezes an item every 7 seconds. This has +1 multicast for each adjacent property. Snowmobile, it's a medium item on pig. Frozen assets expansion, it's a vehicle weapon. Cooldown, reduce on its level. Deal 20 damage. It gains damage for the fight. When you haste or freeze, you charge Snowmobile 2 seconds. Solar Farm, it's a large property tech item on duel. You haste your other items every 9 seconds and you gain regen, and when you burn, you charge a Solar Farm 2 seconds. Soldering Gun is a small tool dually item. Every 6 seconds you burn. This has +1 multicast if it's adjacent to a friend. This has +1 multicast if it's adjacent to a tool. Soulstone, it's a small Mac item, part of the new expansion, Lost Treasures. It's a relic. Every 4 seconds you gain regen, and if you buy a poison items, it gains a poison effect, or if you buy a burn items, it gains a burn effect. It can also gain slow effects if you buy 4 slow items, or buy 4 freeze items, and it gains a freeze effect. Speedrunner is a small pig toy tech item. Every 6 seconds you charge one non-toy item. When you use an adjacent toy, you charge this 1 second. Strength Potion is a small Mac item. It's a potion. It gains, gives your items 100% crit chance for a certain amount of time, scaling to its level every 6 seconds. Has 1 ammo. Submarine is a large Vanessa item. It's aquatic weapon, vehicle, and tech. It deals damage and it also shields equal to its damage every 4 seconds. Submersible, it is a medium Vanessa item, part of Mysteries of the Deep, aquatic weapon, vehicle, and tech. Every 6 seconds you deal damage and shield equal to the item's damage. If you have another vehicle or large item, you reduce its cooldown by 3 seconds. Sunlight Spear is a medium Mac weapon relic. Every 2, 11, 10 seconds you deal damage equal to the regen plus the burn of both players, and you burn equal to your regen. You have plus a certain amount of regen when you have this item on board. Temporal Navigator is a medium dually item, part of the Primal Dually expansion. It's a tech and vehicle. Every 6 seconds you haste adjacent items. If this is your only tech item, its cooldown is halved. At the start of each day you get a relic from any hero. Tesla Coil, it's a medium weapon tech item from Dually. So every 6 seconds you deal damage, and then when you use an adjacent tech, you charge 1 item, any item, 1 second. On Mac, Test Subject Alpha, we have Dangerous Experiments expansion. It's a weapon and friend. Every 975 seconds we deal damage, and then when you use an adjacent item, we poison both players, and then when we poison, this gains damage equal to the amount poisoned for the fight. The core is a medium dually item. It's a core tech and weapon tags. 654 on its cooldown. 50 damage, and you charge all items to the right of it 1 second. When you use any item to the left, you charge the core 1 second. The Tome of Yarn on Mac. When you transform a reagent, you permanently gain a certain amount of regen. Drink break. Oh my gosh. My voice. Thermal Lance. So, medium dually item. It's a tool. Every 5 seconds we burn 5, and when this gains haste, it gains more burn. Throwing Knives. It's a weapon, small and Vanessa. It's ammo. We also deal 33 damage with 3 ammo. 4 seconds, and when we crit with another item, we charge Throwing Knives. Thrusters. It's a small tech item on Dually. It's passive. The item to the left of this is a vehicle. It has the tag, and it has its cooldown reduced. Tomb of the Agents. It's a large relic item on Mac, part of Lost Treasures. It's also a property. Every 7 seconds you gain regen. This has +1 multicast for each other relic you have. The quest for completing another quest on another item is you gain poison effect, and if you complete 2 quests on other items, you gain freeze on Tomb of the Agents. Torpedo is a medium aquatic weapon tech item on Vanessa. You deal 100 damage. It has 1 ammo. Goes off every 8 seconds. When you use another aquatic or ammo item, this gains damage for the fight. If the item is large, you can just reload the torpedo. Tortuga is a large Vanessa item, aquatic friend vehicle weapon. A really high cooldown, deals a huge amount of damage. You haste all of your other items as well. When you use another friend, you charge Tortuga 2 seconds. Trollosaur on Primal Dually, Dragon Dinosaur weapon friend. You deal 10 damage every 7 seconds. You burn equal to 10% of Trollosaur. It has its burn enchant built in. When any player falls below half health for the first time, you destroy a small item, and when you destroy an item during combat, Trollosaur permanently gains damage. Upgrade Hammer is a small loot item. When you sell this, your leftmost item gets upgraded relative to the Upgrade Hammer's level. So at gold, it upgrades to silver or lower. At diamond, it upgrades at gold or lower, etc., etc. Vata Acid is a large Mac item. It poisons for each type this has and burns for each type it has every 7 seconds, and when you sell an item, this gains that item's types. Vending Machine is a passive pig property. It's medium. At the start of each day, you get a chocolate bar, spare change, and truffle. Fire Launcher is a medium Mac item. It's a weapon and tool. When you use a potion, you deal damage, and when you reload or transform a potion, This gains 15, 30, 45 damage for the fight. Vial of Blood, it's a loot item. You just gain XP from it. For Vineyard, it's on Pig. It's a large property. Every 6 seconds you heal, and your heal items have plus heal equal to Vineyard's value. You have regen equal to Vineyard's value. When you sell 10 items, this gives Vineyard value, and you gain a truffle. My voice. VIP Pass. It's a small pig item, part of frozen assets. You haste adjacent properties every 7 seconds, and when you use an adjacent property, it gains value permanently by 1. It also increases VIP Pass's value. What's it called? It's a small dually friend, permanently gain max health. When you use an adjacent friend, you charge it. Wanted poster. When you win a fight against a hero, you gain an extra XP. It also gives you items crit if you have it on the board, and 1 additional XP. Water Wheel is a large Vanessa item aquatic property. You haste all of your other items. When you use an adjacent item, you charge the Water Wheel. Weaponized Core, it's a core tech weapon on dually, medium. Cooldown, deal 20 damage. It gives weapons to the right damage for the fight, and when you use any item to the left, it charges it. Weaselpede is a medium Mac item. It's a friend. Every 6 seconds, we freeze an item, and if your enemy has poison, it has +1 multicast. Weather Glass is a medium tool of Vanessa. We burn and poison, and if we have another item with burn, poison, flow, or freeze, this has +1 multicast for each. Wild Callback. Dangerous Experiments on Mac is also a friend. When a player uses a weapon, we poison that player for 3, 4, or 5. When we use a non-weapon item, it gains regen for the fight. You gain regen for the fight. Yellow Mantis is a small Dualtron item. It's a friend. We haste a certain amount of items. When an adjacent item burns, we charge this 1 second. Sea Shield is a medium Dualtron item. Tech, we shield and we freeze. Adjacent items have their cooldown reduced. And this has +1 multicast if we have a large item. Z Sword is just a damage version. We deal damage and we burn. Has the other same effects. 3D Printer is a large dually item. It's a tool and tech. We transform into copies of the small non-legendary item to the left of it for the fight. Abacus is a small tool on Pig. It shields equal to the value of adjacent items 1 or 2 times. Anchor is a medium Vanessa item. It's aquatic and a weapon. We deal damage equal to a percentage of your enemy's max health. When you use an adjacent item, it gains haste. Antimatter Chamber, it's a tech item on dually. It's large. Every we just destroy it, and then we also destroy 3 enemy for items. When you use another tech, we charge the Antimatter Chamber. Then we have Ballista. We deal damage. We have 2 ammo. When we use another ammo item, it gains multicast for the fight. Basilic Fang, small weapon relic on Mac. We deal damage. It has built-in lifesteal. While our enemy has poison, it gains crit chance as well. Beta Ray, it's a small ray on dually. We freeze an item for the fight. When we use the core or another ray, we charge the Beta Ray a second. Billboard, it's a large pig property. We shield. When we shield or heal, our items gain value, and its cooldown gets reduced for each value it has. Biomerge Arm, it's a medium weapon tool. When an item runs out of ammo, we deal damage. When the item to the left has crit chance and +1 max ammo, and it becomes an ammo item. Blowgun, it's a small weapon relic on Vanessa. It does 2 damage and it poisons equal to its damage. Blunderbuss, it's a medium weapon on Vanessa. We deal damage. It has 6 ammo. When we burn, it charges. Boiling Flask, it's a medium tool on Mac. We reload adjacent potions, and they also have multicast. Bunker, it's a large property on dually. It's a passive item. We take less damage, and our shield items gain multicast. Caltrops, it's a medium weapon on Pig. It's passive. When our enemy uses an item, we deal damage. Charging Station, it's a medium tech item on dually. When we use the item to the left, we charge the item to the right. When we use the core, it gains damage. The core gains damage. Chrono Barrier is a medium tech item on dually. We shield, and then non-tech items cooldowns are increased. Closed Sign on Pig, it's a medium regen item, and it gives us regen equal to the value of adjacent properties. Cosmic Amulet is a small relic we shield, and when it gains haste, our items gain crit. Crane on dually, it's a large weapon vehicle tool. 11 seconds, we deal damage. When we use an adjacent large item, it gains damage, and when we use an adjacent medium item, it gains slightly less damage. Pyrosphere is a medium tech item on dually. Freezes both players' non-core items for a certain amount. Dam is a large aquatic property on Vanessa. We destroy this and all smaller items for the fight. When we use another aquatic item, we charge the dam. Dino Saddle on Dually, Primal, Property Relic, Property. 6 seconds, we shield. Our vehicles have multicast, and if we have a dinosaur, Dino Saddle is a vehicle. Dualtron, Dually, part of the Dualtron. It's a friend and a weapon. We deal a bunch of damage, and when we haste, slow, poison, freeze, or burn, we charge at 2 seconds. When we use a friend, we also shield. Dualtron Mainframe, Dualtron Property Tech. When we use a friend, we charge the core, and we haste a large item. Your Dualtron has the core type. Dragon Tooth, it's a small pig item. Weapon, Dragon Relic. Every 10 seconds, we deal damage, and at the start of each fight with Dragon Tooth, we spend 3 gold, and our weapons permanently gain damage. Ethergy Conduit, it's a relic. It's new from Coromats, a monster item. When we poison or use a relic, your items gain crit chance, and when we crit, we charge our relics. Fiber Optics on Dually, when we use our leftmost item, we charge our rightmost item. Fort, it's a large property on Pig. We shield, and then all items cooldowns are increased, and every item with our items with a cooldown of 8 seconds or greater have +1 multicast. Gatling Gun on Stell, it's a medium weapon. We deal damage, and every time it gets used, it reduces its cooldown by 20%. Gavel, it's a small weapon on Pig. We deal damage to the player with less health. Hacksaw, it's a medium weapon on Dually. It's a tool as well. We deal damage, and when we destroy an item, it doubles its damage, and the first time Hacksaw gets used, it also destroys a small or medium item. Hammock on Pig, every 13 seconds we heal. This item's cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds for each adjacent large item. Hologram Projector on Dually, it's a small tech item. At the start of each fight, it transforms into a copy of another small non-legendary item. Hot Sauce on Jules, it's a food item. We burn for each adjacent food, it has +1 multicast. Ice Cubes on Jules is a small food item. We freeze 3 small items. Ice Lug is a small pig item. Part of frozen assets, we freeze adjacent items and we reduce the cooldown of adjacent items. It's also an ammo item. Iceberg is a large Vanessa aquatic property. When your enemy uses an item, we freeze it. Infused Braces on Mac, Dangerous Experiments. It's an apparel and tool. We poison both players. When we poison ourselves, your weapons gain damage for the fight equal to 1-2 times the amount poisoned. The weapon to the left has lifesteal. Invulnerability Potion, it's a small potion on Mac. We take no damage. It has 1 item, and the first time we fall below half health, we use the potion. Jabalian Drum, it's a small weapon. It's a medium weapon on Pig. We deal damage equal to or relevant to its value per level. When we sell an item, it gains value. Keychain is a small item on Pig. We use a property when this item gets used. Laboratory is a large item on Mac. It's a property. We enchant a non-enchanted item for the fight, and we charge our other relics. Lens is a small tech item on Dually. We charge a tech item to the right, and when Lens gains haste, we charge it 2 seconds. Library is a large Mac item. It's passive. All weapon cooldowns are increased, and your non-weapon items cooldowns are decreased. Lightning Rod is a large stealth item. It's a weapon. We deal damage and do shield. When any player uses an item, Lightning Rod gains damage and shield. Lion Cane is a medium weapon on Pig. We deal damage relative to amount of max health, and when we level up, we gain max health. Loop is a small passive tool on Pig. Our small items have plus value. Luxury Tents is a large property on Pig. When we die, we would heal equal to 2550, and our heal and regen items have multicast. Memento Mori on Mac is a medium relic. The first time we would die, we heal for 1 and take no damage for 1 or 2 seconds. Mirror is a medium relic on Mac. We transform into a gold or diamond copy of a medium non-legendary item. Mamasaur is a large friend weapon dinosaur on Dually. We deal 200 damage, and the first time we use it, we destroy a small or medium item. And when we destroy an item, our dinosaurs permanently gain damage. Mortal Coil is a medium weapon relic. We deal damage. The weapon to the left of this has lifesteal. Mortal Coil also has lifesteal. Open Sign on Pig. Weapon properties adjacent have damage equal to a value of our highest value item. And Shield, it's the exact same thing. Orbital Polisher is a small tool from Stell. Adjacent weapons gain damage. Adjacent shield items gain shield. Pendulum is a medium passive tool relic on Mac. When we use an adjacent item, we charge the other adjacent item. Pesky Pete is a small friend of Vanessa. We burn, and for each adjacent friend or property, this gains multicast. Phonograph is a medium item on Pig. It's passive. The item to the left of this has its cooldown reduced. Piano is a medium item of Vanessa. Part of the gang. When we use a friend, we haste it for 1 or 2 seconds, and adjacent items are friends. Pickled Peppers on Jules. It's food. We burn, and then when we burn, this gains burn for the fight. Pierre Conditioner on Dually, it's a friend, it's medium, we freeze items, and when we use a friend or the core, we charge it for the fight. Pistol Sword on Vanessa is a medium weapon. We deal damage. It has 3 ammo. When we use an ammo item, we deal damage. Plague Glaive on Mac, it's a large weapon relic. We deal damage. Poison items have plus a certain amount of poison. For every 20 poison on the enemy, this has +1 multicast, and it has built-in lifesteal. Private Hot Springs on Pigs, part of Frozen Alicet. It's a large property. Burns, it gains regen. We gain regen. When we fall below half health, we freeze all other items. And when we freeze, we charge at 4 seconds. Pyrocarbon is a medium item on Dooley. We shield, and when we gain burn, we haste all of our items. Ritual Dagger on Mac. It's a small weapon relic. We deal 2 damage and we gain regen for the fight equal to this item's damage. Rivet Gun, it's a small stealth item. It's a weapon and tool. We deal damage on its usage, and then when we use the item to the right, we charge the item to the left. Runic Blade on Mac, it's a medium weapon relic. We deal damage, and when we crit, we double its item's damage for the fight. It has built-in lifesteal. Scales on Mac, it's a medium tool. We charge adjacent items, but if we have the same amount of items on both sides, we charge all other items instead. Scrap Metal, it's a medium dually item. When we sell this, we upgrade the core. If it's a diamond, it also reduces its cooldown by 1 second. Secret Formula is a medium Mac relic. We gain regen. The bird item to the left gains burn equal to your regen. The poison item to the right gains poison equal to your regen. Slumbering Primordial is a large Vanessa Mysteries of the Deep item, friend, aquatic weapon relic. We deal damage. When we poison, freeze, or burn, we charge at 2 seconds and it gains a certain amount of damage. Soul Ring is a small Mac item. It's apparel and relic. We poison equal to our regen, and we also have a flat amount of regen. Skyscraper on Pig, it's a large property with shield equal to a relative value of our items. This has triple value during combat. Spyglass is a medium Vanessa item. Adjacent items have more crit, and at the start of each fight, an enemy item has its cooldown increased. Staff of the Moose is a large weapon relic on Mac. We deal damage. It has 2 multicast. First time we fall below half health, we take no damage, and we gain regen for the fight. Our weapons have plus damage equal to our regen. Stained Glass Window, it's a medium pig property. When we win a fight with it in play, our properties gain value. When we lose a fight, it gets destroyed. If we have 5 or fewer items, their cooldowns get reduced. Stopwatch, we freeze both players' items for a certain amount. It's a small pig tool apparel. Subscraper, it's a large pig property. We heal equal to the 4-6 times the value of your items, and our other items have plus value equal to this item's value during combat. Swashbuckle is a medium apparel item. Adjacent items have plus crit chance, and adjacent items have plus damage, heal, or shield equal to their crit chance. T-set is a pig item. It's a medium relic. Heal equal to a percentage of your max health, and we permanently gain health, and then we also gain regen. The boulder is a large Vanessa weapon relic. We deal damage equal to our enemy's max health, and this has 1 ammo. It's a large item. Thrown net on Mac is a medium item. We slow an item, and this is +1 multicast for each weapon or friend your enemy has. Tripwire is a medium Vanessa ammo. It's a passive. When your enemy uses an item, we slow it. Tropical Island is a large Vanessa property aquatic. It's a passive item. When we slow, this gains regen. At the start of each hour, we get a coconut or citrus. Turtle Shell is a medium Vanessa aquatic. We shield, and our shield items gain shield for the fight on usage. When we use another non-weapon item, we charge at 1 second. Viper Cane, a medium Mac weapon relic. We deal damage. A poison item gains poison of this item's damage for the fight as a percentage value, and a regen item gains regen equal to a percentage of this item's damage. Vitality Potion, it's a small potion on Mac. We heal equal to a percentage of our max health, and it has 1 ammo. Void Ray, it's a medium ray relic. We burn, we gain, it has multicast, and when we shield, this gains burn for the fight. Wand, it's a small toy relic. We charge our other non-weapon items. Weather Machine, it's a large stealth vehicle property tech. We burn, we freeze, and we slow. Wrench, it's a small weapon tool on stealth. We deal damage, and at the start of the day, we upgrade a tool of a lower tier. Yatarian Club on Pig. We deal damage, and when we freeze, we charge at 2 seconds. It's a large weapon relic. At the first time we fall below half health, we freeze an item for 99 seconds. Zoot Flute is a medium item. We slow items, and adjacent items have crit chance, and when we crit, we charge it. Arkan's Ring is a small passive apparel. When we sell it, we recover prestige. Flamberge is a large weapon. We deal damage, and it deals quadruple crit damage. Genie Lamp is a small relic, not actually in the game at the minute, but when we sell this, we gain access to the Genie Writ. Magician's Top Hat is a medium apparel. When we sell this, we upgrade our leftmost item. Robotic Factory is a passive dually item. Our friends have +1 multicast. Shipwreck is the same for Vanessa. However, our aquatic items have +1 multicast. Skyscraper is a large pig property slash weapon. We deal damage equal to 3 times the value of our items. This has double value in combat. If you have 5 or fewer items in play, it has multicast. Snowflake is a small loot item. When we sell this, our leftmost freeze item gains half a second of freeze duration. Spices is a small pig item with ammo. Our weapons gain damage equal to our weakest weapons damage for the fight with 1 ammo. Thieves Guild medallion, same as the genie lamp. When we sell this, gain access to the Thieves Guild. Doesn't exist at the moment. Tomomu gun, it's a small ammo weapon. We deal damage equal to this item's ammo. It has 50 ammo on it. Void Shield is a medium relic. We gain shield equal to the enemy's burn. When the enemy uses an item, we burn. Windmill is a large property on Pig. Charge adjacent items for a second. When we use another item, we charge this for a second. Bar Spike Warden is a medium relic. We poison 10, and when we freeze poison or burn, our items gain poison. And when we use an adjacent relic, we charge. Blazehowl Warden is a relic. We burn 10. Same thing as a Bar Spike Warden. It's literally just a burn version. Darkstone Engine. We deal 100 damage every 5 seconds. At the start of each fight, we enchant a non-enchanted item with Obsidian. It has +1 multicast for each Obsidian enchanted item you have. And when we use a weapon 50 times, it enchants a second item. Darkstone Focuser deals 50 damage for each weapon we have. It has built-in lifesteal. Its cooldown is reduced for each other relic we have. And when we sell this, enchant your leftmost item with Obsidian. Dragon Heart, medium dragon relic. We double the burn of an item for the fight, and when we burn or use a dragon item, we charge this for 2 seconds. Eye of the Colossus is a large relic. We destroy an enemy item for the fight, and when we use an adjacent item, we charge it 1 second. Flame Coil Gem is a small relic. We burn for each burn item. It's similar to our Darkstone Focuser, except it's just a burn version. So we enchant a leftmost item with Fiery, etc., etc. Icewatch Wardian is medium relic. We freeze an item, we charge adjacent items. And then when we freeze, poison, or burn, we charge the Icewatch Warden. Infernal Greatsword is a large weapon relic. We deal 2 damage. We burn equal to this item's damage, and this gains damage equal to your enemy's burn. Maitoan Altar, it's a poison version of the Flame Coil and the Darkstone. So we poison for each poison item. Cooldown is reduced for each relic, and when we sell it, we enchant a leftmost item with Toxic. Necronomicon, we poison for 10. We gain 10 regen for the fight. When any non-weapon is used, we charge it a second. Nullfrost Ultim, when any player uses an item, we freeze it for a second. However, when any item gains freeze, we remove freeze from it. And when we freeze, our weapons and our shield items gain 10, respectively. Octopus is a medium aquatic weapon friend. We deal 8 damage and has 8 multicast. Scythe is a medium weapon relic. We deal damage equal to 1/3 of our enemy's max health. Singularity is a small tech legendary. We destroy a small enemy item for the fight. Soul of the District is a medium weapon relic. We shield equal to our current health, and we deal damage equal to our current shield. Spirit Diffuser is a large relic at the start of each fight. It's a passive as well. We enchant one non-enchanted item on each player's board, and when an enemy uses an enchanted item, we charge an enchanted item 2 seconds. Sword of Swords is a medium weapon relic. We deal 100 damage, and it has +1 multicast for each other item we have on the board from a different hero. Teddy, I don't believe it's in the game right now. It's a medium weapon friend toy. We deal 100 damage. Crit chance at 25% built in with 2 multicast, and when we use another toy friend ammo item, we charge it a second. Temple Expedition Ticket. It's a small loot item. On day 9, it allows us to embark on the Temple Expedition. And then finally, the Eclipse. A large weapon, vehicle, and tech item. We use all of our other items when it gets used. When we use an item, we deal 100 damage, and on the first time we fall below half health each fight, we use it. We use the Eclipse. Well, that is everything. That's every single item in the Bazaar. I don't know if that's freaky to look at, but that took a while, and my voice has suffered for it. I'm gonna end, and I'll be brief. Thank you for 100 subscribers. I appreciate it. Thank you for liking my channel, I guess. I thought I'd do this just for fun, even though it wasn't really. But hey, if you enjoy it and you aren't subscribed, please do. Or drop a like and drop a comment, because it really does help out the channel a lot. Thank you for your support so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.